Hey friends, today's absolutely terrifying story was sent by Emily from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to tell it from her perspective, like she's right here whispering every detail to you. Picture this. You move into what seems like the perfect apartment near your MCAT prep center, thinking it's ideal for focused studying. But something dark and jealous is already waiting for you inside. Stick with me till the very end. The final warning from the priest will make you double-check every shadow in your room tonight. Before we jump in, if you love true stories that keep you up checking your doors and windows, smash that subscribe button right now. We drop fresh, real paranormal experiences every 2 days. Only 100% true stories from people like you. No made-up stuff. Hit the bell so you never miss one. Okay, here's Emily's story. It was November 2022. I was prepping hard for the MCAT, that brutal exam everyone knows is the gateway to med school. Since there weren't great intensive prep programs back in my small hometown of Macon, Georgia, my parents sent me to Atlanta for a top coaching center right on Peachtree Street downtown. I could see the building from my classroom window, super convenient. A friend from the program had warned me, "Emily, that whole block around your place feels off. Maybe look into the history." I brushed it off. My family is big on faith, God, negative energies, and protection prayers, but I figured it was just nerves. The apartment was on the top floor of an old building. To get to my room, you walked through a narrow outdoor hallway with metal railings on both sides. At the end, near my door, you could look straight down into a dark alley dumpster area below. The second I stepped into that hallway with my mom, a heavy, freezing pressure hit my chest so hard I actually gasped. Mom grabbed my arm and said quietly, "Honey, promise me you won't come out here after dark." I told her she was being dramatic. I moved in on November 7th. Prep classes started the next day, long sessions from afternoon into evening. The first couple nights were just homesickness, crying on FaceTime with my mom. But on the third night, everything shifted. I woke up at 3:07 a.m. sharp. The room felt like a freezer, even though the AC was off. I sensed someone standing at the foot of my bed, staring. I grabbed my phone flashlight, nothing there. But when I looked at my roommate's bed, she was sitting bolt upright in the corner, eyes wide and unblinking, staring right at me. I blinked, and in that split second, she was back lying down, asleep, like nothing happened. My heart was pounding so loud it echoed in my head. Next morning, I felt dizzy coming out of the shared bathroom. I gripped the cold metal railing to steady myself and shuffled to the big mirror at the end of the hallway. I looked up. Blood was dripping from my nose, just a little at first. I wiped it, thinking it was stress or allergies. Then it exploded, blood pouring like someone opened a faucet inside my face. It soaked my shirt, my hands, everything in seconds. I screamed so loud the neighbors banged on walls. My roommate Sarah rushed out, saw me covered in blood, and her face went white with pure horror. That terrified expression, it's still the scariest thing I've ever seen. I remember thinking, she looks like she's seeing a corpse. Everything went black. I woke up at my aunt's house in the suburbs. My dad had called 50 times. I was sobbing, begging, "Don't make me go back. Please don't send me back." Dad drove over the same day, packed everything, got the deposit back, and took me home to Macon to recover. I thought the nightmare was done, but it had already latched on and followed me. A few days later, after lunch, I got hit with extreme drowsiness. I went to my room and passed out. When I woke, it was dark outside and the house was too quiet. I couldn't speak. Mom asked what was wrong. I just stared blankly. While sipping tea, the cup slipped and shattered. My body dropped like a stone. My teeth clenched so hard my uncle couldn't force them open. Then a low, unfamiliar voice came out of my mouth. "He's standing at the door, watching me. Take me home." My hands jerked and twisted on their own, scratching at nothing. Dad rushed in and pressed my grandma's old cross necklace into my palms. The instant it touched me, I sucked in air like I'd be drowning and snapped awake. That night, a local priest came. He looked at me once and his face drained of color. He said quietly, "Something attached to her 101 days ago. It's a male spirit, old, powerful, and full of jealousy." Because she prays daily and wears her protective necklace, it can't fully possess her, so it's trying to break her down piece by piece. He did prayers and blessings almost dawn. Next morning, I had a deep, unexplained cut on my thumb. No idea where it came from. Whole chunks of the past week were just gone from my memory. I thought we'd beaten it, but when I went back to Atlanta after a week to keep up with classes, staying at my aunt's house and commuting, it came roaring back. One night, I dreamed of an old man with hollow black eyes in the corner of my room. He grinned, raised his hand, and hurled a dark shape straight at my face. In the dream, I whipped my neck aside to dodge it and woke up screaming with real, searing neck pain that lasted days. Another night at my aunt's house, I was alone watching Netflix. I went to the kitchen for water around 2 a.m. As soon as I stepped in, I felt hot breath on the back of my neck. I turned slowly, and there, pressed against the window from the outside, was a tall, black shadow with two glowing white eyes staring right into mine. I screamed and dropped the glass. Family came running. Nothing there, but the window was fogged up like someone had been breathing on it. Then the really terrifying part started. Every morning I woke up with fresh bruises and scratches, clear handprints on my arms, my waist, my neck, like someone had grabbed me hard while I slept. I'd find kitchen knives or blades in my bed with no memory of getting them. I started obsessively looking for sharp things even when I didn't want to, making up excuses when Mom asked about the cuts on my wrists and elbows. Mom called the priest back in a panic. This time, he looked afraid. He said, "This entity is obsessed with her. It's jealous of her intelligence, her drive in medicine. It craves closeness, physical closeness. That's why it strikes hardest when she's tired or alone." During the next intense prayer session, while everyone was chanting, I suddenly felt freezing fingers clamp around my throat and squeeze. I screamed in agony. When it stopped, fresh red handprints were visible on my neck. Everyone saw them. The final priest, a family friend, did the strongest ritual. He created a permanent charm during a special service and warned in a grave voice, "Never take this off, not for anything. If you ever get physically intimate with someone, in that exact moment, the entity can seize full control of your body in seconds." Friends, that was Emily's real ordeal while grinding for the MCAT. She still wears that charm every day. She still has nightmares. She still glances over her shoulder in hallways. So, tell me in the comments right now, have you ever felt watched in a new apartment? Woken up with unexplained marks? Ignored a bad vibe and wished you hadn't? Share your true stories below. I read every one. If you want more heart-pounding real tales like this, smash subscribe and join the family. New video every 2 days. Got your own scary experience? Send it to godnofaceshuvu@gmail.com. Yours could be next. Stay safe. Never ignore that heavy feeling in a new place, and keep your protection close. See you in the next one, if you dare.